Hi guys, if you're new here, my name is Sam and I make videos about makeup, chronic illness, and whatever I want. Today, we're going to talk about prepping for the holidays when you have a chronic illness. Prepping for the holidays is probably the most important part to making sure the holidays don't kind of come back to haunt you. And I've kind of found the secret sauce for myself that I would share my top 5 tips for managing the holidays and making sure they go as smooth as they can. I was hoping to put this up a little bit earlier, seeing as Thanksgiving is only in like a week and a half, but said chronic illnesses got in the way of that. So let's just jump into it right now. Obviously, planning with a chronic illness sounds a little difficult because chronic illnesses are so unpredictable, but that's why I think it's super important to have multiple, not set in stone plans, they don't need to be rigid, but multiple avenues, almost like a tree branch. Think of it like you have your main goal, but then you come up with some other options in case that goal doesn't quite work out. I'm the type of person who likes to know what's happening, likes to plan in advance, and I don't like surprises, but neither does my health. The first tip I have is to have a general outline of what's happening. Are you hosting? Are you traveling? How many people are coming? How big of a meal are you making, etc.? Because that's really going to determine how much prep work you should do in the days leading up, or honestly even the weeks. I've already started prepping like non-perishables for my Christmas dinner, and it's just the middle of November. My second tip is to figure out and plan what kind of accommodations that you need. Do you need extra days to recover after or before? Do you need to eat earlier in the day because of a certain medication regimen or acid reflux or something like that? These details are mandatory to manage your health, and it really helps to communicate those to the people around you who maybe aren't super familiar or have kind of just forgotten since last year that you need to eat at 3 p.m., that you're going to leave a day early so you have a day at home to rest before maybe you have to go back to work. There's no reason to push yourself through without accommodations. You're not being too demanding or asking too much just for asking for a time change or to have a little more time at home to recover from the events. My third tip is energy prepping. What I call energy prepping is knowing you have a big thing coming up that's going to take a lot of energy, like a holiday or a trip or a concert or something like that, and preparing ahead of time. And for me, that is avoiding other big things. Like let's say I have a big doctor's appointment that I need all my energy for. I'm going to be there for multiple hours. I'm going to not hang out with my friends for a week or two before because I know that's all energy I'm going to need for that appointment. So I really try to balance where my energy is going. I realize there are so many chronically ill people who still have very demanding jobs and you can't take time off work. And that's why I recommend, as much as this kind of sounds like a sucky tip, giving up the fun stuff for just a little while beforehand. That way you're not going to crash and potentially miss work after your holiday events. Also, switch to lower energy exercise. If you're somebody who usually goes for a jog or weightlifting, try just going for a slow walk or yoga. Just small things like that can really make a difference in energy prepping. My fourth tip is communication, which this seems to be really hard for most people, including myself, is just communicating the things that you need or saying no or setting boundaries. That's not going to work for me. But it is so important for everyone around you to just have a clear idea. And I promise 99% of people are going to be very understanding and very accommodating. I know you might think you're going to come off as high maintenance, but I promise nobody's going to think that. And they want you to have the best holiday experience that you can have. It's really easy to push ourselves at this time of year, and it isn't worth it. You don't want to remember that you had a good hour and then you spent 5 days in bed. That's not a holiday event that is fun for you. So ask for help, say no thanks. Don't be afraid to say, actually, I need a nap before I can do this, or I'm going to have to leave a little early. It's okay. And it will make your holidays so much more enjoyable. My fifth tip is rest. This one might be a little obvious, but sometimes we do have to give up some fun for the rest. Rest is so incredibly important. This might mean you have to leave early, show up late, leave the room in the middle of an event to go lay down and take a nap and just decompress. And these all sound like bummers. None of us want to do that, but it's so important for you to not end up worsening your health or having a crash or honestly just being kind of cranky at your holiday event. So I think it's super important to just kind of recharge no matter what that means for you, even though it's not going to be the most fun thing in the world. I personally had to stop doing large family events. I come from a very large family because it was super overstimulating for my migraines, which at the time I didn't know it was migraines, but really loud noises is why I don't do concerts. All those things set off migraines. So it was a mixture of I was crashing, I was getting a migraine attack, and now with the shape my lungs they're incredibly damaged. I have to watch how many germs I'm exposed to at one time. So it was an unfortunate thing that I can't see my extended family all at once, and I had to see them in little bits and pieces here and there. But that was a decision I had to make for my overall well-being, because I would go to Thanksgiving and be laid out for a week just from all of the things that were happening afterwards. Now I do more intimate, quiet things to keep myself closer to my baseline, and I do a lot of ahead planning and prepping just to make sure that I can have an as smooth as possible holiday season. We can't control our health, and we can't control anything outside of our health, like the weather and other people, but we can do our best to manage it and have a game plan of, you know, this is what I need to do, and maybe I won't be able to 100% follow it, but I have this plan if that doesn't work. You know, if I can't leave a day early, I can at least take a nap. Things like that. So really just think about what your holidays are entailing, what things kind of set off health flares, and do your best to come up with ideas to mitigate and minimize the effects. And I can't believe the holidays are this close already. I hope you found some of these tips helpful. If you have your own tips, please leave them down below. I'm always looking for new things to implement, and you can help everyone else who watched the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time.